Hey guys. Hold on. Okay, I hope you guys are doing good. I know a lot of you have your claims able to certify now as of the 7th, but about half of you are able to certify and about half of you still aren't. So I know there's still a lot of problems going on. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to start right at 4 p.m. And let me just mark Kat as a moderator real quick. Okay, perfect. So as a reminder, you guys, if you see Kat adding comments in the chat, she's my moderator. She might drop links or things like that. So it's not someone spamming the comments. She does work for me. All right, you guys, I'm scrolling up to the 4 o'clock timestamp. All right, Adele here. If I'm on Fed Ed and our benefits year is ending, will we automatically be extended? If not, when we reapply and haven't worked in a whole year, will the EDD look at 2019 paid quarters? Okay, so if you're on Fed Ed does seem to continue to pay out even after your benefit year expires up through the duration of Fed Ed. If you get stuck in pending, then you will need to reapply because your benefit year has ended, but it seems to keep paying out based on what subscribers tell me and based on what customer service says when subscribers call in. But on the EDD website, doesn't specifically say that, but it does say that you can qualify for Fed Ed if your year expired. So most likely you'll continue to collect up until that Fed Ed balance runs out, and then you'll need to reapply. Now, when you reapply, most likely you won't qualify because you spent the last year on unemployment, but there's a provision in the last stimulus bill passed in December that allows the unemployment departments to just basically keep you on your old claim and apply the extension. Hold on, I'm super thirsty. So basically you can stay on your old claim and they'll apply the extension to your old claim if you don't qualify for a new one. So that's why it's best to call into customer service. If you have to file for a new claim, do it over the phone. Call into customer service because if you don't qualify, then they will be able to apply the extension to your old claim over the phone, as long as you get someone on the phone that knows what they're doing. So that's usually the best thing to do with that. So call into customer service if you get stuck in pending in your Fed Ed, but Fed Ed does seem to continue to pay out. So end of your benefit year, call in, reapply. They'll put you on the extension if you don't qualify. All right, Ibiza Airline. Anyone else's weeks to certify look different? I'm getting the old UI basic questions, not 7F. Okay, so if you are not getting 7F, 7F is a PUA question. So that tells me that you might have been migrated from a PUA claim over to a PEUC claim. PUA was used as an extension for traditional unemployment claimants who did not qualify for Fed Ed. So if that is you, if you were using PUA as an extension, they have now moved you back over to PEUC. And yes, the certification questions are going to look a little bit different, so don't be alarmed. Okay, hold on, fixing things. Everything's broken today. All right, Sir Laughs and More. My year expires in a few weeks, but my Fed Ed clean balance would run out after a week after. Am I going to have to reapply once my year expires, or am I going to use up my Fed Ed and be placed back on PUA? Okay, so Fed Ed, kind of like what I just answered, Fed Ed seems to continue to collect the entire duration of the weeks that they have allotted you. If you get stuck in pending though, then that's the problem. Call in and reapply. But most likely you will continue to collect that last week based on what everyone has been saying with their claims. Now, once you file a new claim, let's see, you're going to have to reapply. Yes, that's correct. And then you're going to be placed on the PEUC extension if you don't qualify for a new claim. All right, Joy comes in the morning, 11-week extension for PEUC and reopen claim button, opened it again on March 7th because there was no disbursement of funds for this year. It is like the benefits are stuck. What's going on? Yeah, there's a lot of problems. Okay, so if you have a reopen claim button, the EDD stated that if you were PEUC or PUA waiting on an extension, they stated in a press release, and I've published content on this, that you were not supposed to click the button, even though it's there. It seems really weird, but essentially it's a glitch in their system where they're trying to reestablish your claim. And it kind of pops up when it shouldn't. And so while they're in the process of extending you, if that pops up, you don't click it. If you do click it, what it does is it delays your certifications by about 2 weeks. So it will delay your certifications by about 2 weeks. And that's probably the problem that you're seeing. So call into customer service. Unfortunately, you have to call in. Use my tips on how to call in video, which is linked in the video description. All right, Greyhound. Aaron David here. Has anyone experienced no pay weeks? And have they seen resolution to it after talking with customer service? I did finally get through to a rep on Friday about the issue. Yes, so not paid can be for a variety of different reasons. Most commonly right now, and this is not true for everyone, but there is a large number of claimants that are seeing not paid weeks because they were in the group of claimants that had a traditional unemployment claim and they did not qualify for Fed Ed, so they were put on a PUA as an extension. So they're put on PUA as an extension, and now because of the December stimulus bill, they must be migrated back to a PEUC extension under a traditional UI claim. So in that migration process, anything that was certified for on the old PUA claim was marked in pending and now was not paid, and then it kind of didn't follow them over. So that's a really common thing that's going on right now. So that might be the problem. But in general, there are lots of reasons why you could have not paid. If you have not paid, call into customer service and they do need to tell you what's up and they do need to fix it for you. If you can't get through, use my how to call tips that are in my video description and then contact your assembly members. Okay, let me check over here. Okay. Michael Holland, my current Fed Ed claims run through April. We have a lot of Fed Ed questions today. I have to reapply this coming Sunday the 14th because it's been 1 year. Do you think by the time benefits end for me in April, EDD will process a new claim? So the processing of new claims is taking between 2 and 3 weeks. Once they process your application, you'll usually be stuck in pending for a few weeks. So even if they process your app within 1 week, you'll usually be stuck in pending before you get moved to paid, and they say that your claim is under review. When you call in, they can't do anything about it because they're just reviewing you. So on average, it's seeming to take about 3 weeks for a new claim to go through. So it kind of depends on the scenario of each specific claim when you reapply. So when your Fed Ed runs out, you have to reapply, but call into customer service and do it over the phone because that's the fastest way that seems to be. They say to do it online and UI online, but that's just because they don't want you to call in. So call in, jam up the phone lines even more, but because if you don't qualify for a new claim, they can apply the extension right away over the phone. So that's where it saves you time. So I would do it that way. All right, Colleen, every time I call in, someone tells me that my claim has been fixed, but no changes. It's after 3/7. Why don't they have answers for us? They should have a daily statement on their website. They absolutely should. And if a random weirdo on the internet can create this volume of content, have 1.5 million views a month, then they need to be increasing their communication there. It's really, really unfortunate. So unfortunately, the only thing I can tell you is keep calling in, ask for a tier 2 representative. They're also known as an EPR agent, according to the audit report. But call in the first half of the day because they seem to leave by 12 p.m. and ask them for that higher level representative to help you. If you're not able to get through, or if you still get the same answers, oh, it's fixed, call back in 2 days, etc., then call your assembly member. So make sure that you have called your assembly member. I have the link on how to locate them in the video description. Call them and have them start working on your claim with you. All right, John Carlos. Any idea if people that have already verified ID, but for whatever reason asked to verify address in DocuSign email will see faster turnaround than the original ID verify pending? I'm not sure about the turnaround times for that if you are already verified and then they ask you to do an address verification. Everything with the EDD seems to take either 2 weeks or 6 weeks. DocuSign can take a while to review in general. And it's unfortunate. So I don't have a turnaround time on that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Henry Martinez, thank you so much for the generous donations. Very kind. Let's see. He says, Ginny, what are your thoughts on remote jobs and work from home? Any good websites you can recommend? We know you've been working remotely for many years. Would love some encouragement on finding remote work. Okay, so the remote work that I do is self-employed. I'm an entrepreneur. I create my own work and my own businesses. So that being said, I have not been using remote work websites, but if you are someone who is self-employed, if you have a skill, Fiverr is really good, and Upwork, because you can create your own profiles, set your own prices, etc. So if you have some sort of a skill, some sort of area where you can be self-employed, an independent contractor, consultant, etc., Fiverr and Upwork are really great sites for that. Okay, and yes, I do want to create more content on that. It's just been that very red today. Get red when I talk a lot. It's just been all of the EDD content has just been what people need right now. It takes all my time. Okay, I'm scrolling down. All right, 1988 Alberta. Hi, Ginny. I have a phone interview on Sunday for my backdated weeks. Do you know what questions they will ask? Okay, so they're probably just going to reconfirm the things that were in the Ask EDD application where you apply to have your claim backdated. They're going to probably ask you when your last date of work was, why you stopped working, why you have not resumed work. So just make sure that you just provide them with current, accurate information, and they want to confirm that it was due to the pandemic. So they also will want to know that you are looking, well, they'll want to know that you are able to accept full-time work. So that's going to be probably what they're looking for. All right, Amy, hi there. Is there a limit to how much I can earn overall? Not so much weekly, but a total amount. There's not, but you do need to certify for it. If you are earning self-employment income, you have to certify for the self-employment income at the time you receive the payment. If you are working as an employee, you have to certify for it at the time in which you do the work. So if you worked 10 hours one week, you will certify for those hours worked at the end of that week during that certification period, not when you're paid. So it differs according to that. In terms of how much you can earn, that's a gray area for self-employed individuals. So I'm not sure if you are self-employed or if you are a W-2 earner, but here's the thing. There's kind of a loophole, and it's not a loophole that I take advantage of because I don't agree with that. I think that it's wrong. But if you're self-employed, they ask you to certify when you receive the payment. Now, technically, if you saw my What I Earned in YouTube video from last month, you'll see that I made quite a lot. Technically, I could have certified that I earned that income during 1 week and then collected unemployment for the other 3 weeks. I don't do that. I just max it all out each week and I don't collect it all. So do what you think is best for your situation that best represents your income honestly, and be compliant with the EDD. All right, Zoe, I am phase 2 claimant and was stuck pending at the end of December. I verified my ID and received my payment for the last week of December. Still have a $900 balance. It has not let me certify since then. Okay, so if you had a balance at the end of December, you should have been extended by now. Call into customer service. Let's see, I can't tell if you're UI or PUA. If you're UI, you might have reached the end of your benefit year. So check your UI online for your claim start date. And then if you've reached the end of your benefit year, then that's the problem. And you will need to reapply. If not, then you need to call into customer service and they need to fix that for you. All right. Anna Girls Place, thank you very much. I have PUA and was awarded an extension, but last payment was $12.27. Called an EDD, says data glitch. was supposed to be fixed today, but no. Okay, so your last payment was $12.27. PUA, you had an extension. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you with anything with that. You need to keep calling customer service. There is a possibility that you could have just gotten a representative that wasn't very skilled or wasn't very helpful. So I would recommend calling in again and trying to ask to speak to a tier 2 representative, or they're also known as an EPR agent. They might be able to help you a little bit more than the person who answers the phones first, which are the tier 1 reps, which are less skilled. So I would call in again, and then if that's still not helpful, then I would call your assembly member. I have it linked in the video description, and try to get them to start helping you work on your claim. I'm very sorry to hear that you're not extended yet. Henry Martinez, thank you very much again. Let's see. He says, thank you so much. I'll keep that in mind. Most people, like some family and friends, tell me that some remote jobs could be scams. Okay, so yeah, remote jobs. You got to know what you're looking for. Don't reply to anyone on WhatsApp. Be on the lookout for scams. In general, using a third-party site like Upwork or Fiverr, there's going to be terms and conditions, etc., that kind of helps to screen people through. But yeah, there's a lot of scammers out there right now. It's very unfortunate. You got to be on your guard. All right, I'm scrolling down a bit in the comments, and I'm drinking water because I'm parched. All right. Recipe, I don't know if I'm traditional UI or PUA. Lost my restaurant job in March 2020. Second extension is done the same day. My year ends 3/15. Okay, so what's your question? So if you're not an end date of 4/10, that tells me that you're UI. Because all PUA claims have an end date of 4/10, because that's when the program ends with the CARES Act extension. So your UI. So if you lost your job in March and your claim ends at 3/15, after 3/15, you will need to reapply. Otherwise, your payments will get stuck in pending if you certify after that end date. So you'll need to reapply. Let's see, Coffee Lover. If my benefit year ends, will they automatically keep me on PEUC if my new UI claim is $100 lower, or do I have to request it? Okay, so there is a rule that if you are $25 lower in your new weekly benefit award amount, or even smaller, that they will keep you on your old claim and apply the extension to the old claim. That's a stimulus bill provision. California is using it. So if they don't do it automatically, call into customer service. My guess with the EDD is that they will not do it automatically. So be prepared to call in. All right, scrolling down. Exquisite Williams, hello. Thank you for coming. Let's see, scrolling down. Cantor Mark says, what Jamie said. Oh, I'm not sure what that means. All right, Tony Perez, ID was suspended for ID.me. They never gave me a customer number. So finally, I can see my payments. It says payments pending. I just got my ID.me, went through. Okay, so it sounds like you are a new claim if you're saying that you never got a customer ID number and you just finished an ID verification. So it sounds like you're a new claim. If you are, in fact, a new claim, your payments are going to be pending for up to 2 weeks. So be prepared to see them pending for 2 weeks. And then when it says paid, then that means that Bank of America has dispersed your card. And then you allow 7 to 10 business days for it to get to you, because everything takes a long time. All right, Rose, but what is PAC? Is that the final phase of PUA? There is no PAC. There is PUA, which is pandemic unemployment, which is unemployment for the self-employed and those with limited work history. There's PEUC, which is the extension of traditional unemployment. There's PEUC, which is not a term used anywhere on the website or in the stimulus bill, but customer service reps use that term for individuals that are undergoing a second round of PEUC extension. So maybe it's one of those terms you're looking for. Okay, let's see. Donna, I'm in California. I certified for previous 2 weeks, got paid for 1 week. The other is pending. I have one more week to certify for this Sunday, and then year's up and I reapply. Thank you. You're awesome. You're very welcome. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. You got paid 1 week and the other is pending. Okay. The pending weeks where it's like a series of weeks and some were paid and some weren't. Oftentimes that comes because the extension wasn't applied properly and maybe some of the certifications were under an old PUA claim and you're moved to PEUC, something like that. If you have a gap in your weeks, call in to customer service. Alternatively, you can fill out a contact form in UI Online or submit the request through Ask EDD. However, those are very passive. The EDD may or may not ever get back to you there. I have viewers that are telling me that they now are receiving replies from 4 months ago from UI Online. So doesn't hurt to submit the change there, the request there, but call into customer service on that because you want to make sure you get paid. Okay, scrolling down. Michael Bast, if I'm on lowest PUA, but I have checks and information that could raise it, is it worth trying to get back pay? I'm on my extension and first year. So it depends on when you applied. If you applied December 27th and onward, you were only able to backdate as early as December. It's technically December 1st, but the first unemployment week starts on December 6th. So you can only backdate up to December 6th if you applied recently, December 27th and onward. So might not be worth it to you then. It might still be worth it. If you applied earlier than that and you're going to be backdating all the way up through 2/2, yes, it's going to make a big difference and you definitely should. You qualify for an increased weekly benefit award amount for PUA if you are $17,500 roughly or higher in income. If you're above that margin, then you would qualify for an increase, with the maximum being $450 per week, which is for people that earned roughly $46,000 the year prior. Okay, checking over here. Scrolling down, too many things. You guys, I made an app for my YouTube channel. It's going to be coming out soon so that I can be up in your phone irritating you with annoying date reminders, etc. So be on the lookout for that. All right, Emily B. Hi, Ginny. What does it mean when it says I'm on extension tier 2 on my benefit type? I'm a traditional UI. I've never seen it referenced as tier 2. Is that something that you're seeing in UI Online, like in your claims history, or where are you seeing that? Tell me, because I want to know, and I'm going to check on my phone for your response, Emily. I haven't seen that, but my guess is that that would mean that you are kind of the second phase of the PEUC extension, because we had PEUC 1, which first round, which was 13 weeks, and then the second PEUC extension from the December's stimulus bill is 11 weeks. So there's been 2 different phases of it, and I'm guessing that that's what they mean. All right, Anthony, reopen claim button still. Was not paid since 2/13. Spoke to a tier 2 rep, said don't click, in process of getting extended claim. Ends 4/3. Will I get back pay from 2/13? I'm on PEUC, collected 8 of 11 weeks. Yes, you should receive back pay. However, I would not expect it to come automatically. The EDD says it should come automatically, but don't trust it. Make sure that you review all those weeks once it is fixed, and make sure that there's no gaps. And if there is a gap, then call back in to good old customer service and see if they can help you. All right, Tracy Thornton. Oh, hold on. Problems. Tracy Thornton, I am approaching 1 year on unemployment on 3/22. My dashboard says on extension. This was the extension after my UI went to a $0 balance. I'm wondering if I will be able have to reapply or if it will just extend again. You will have to reapply. Reapply at the end of your 12-month benefit year. So 3/22, call into customer service and do it over the phone, because if you don't qualify for a new claim, then they'll be able to apply it over the phone, which is much better than waiting. All right, Cantor Mark, they need to hire Ginny and pay her beaucoup dollars. Thank you, Cantor Mark. Yes, I would not accept a job with the EDD. I like to be self-employed, but they can pay me and I can freelance for them. TM, my card is still frozen. Bank of America is $9,000 of mine, and I haven't gotten paid since August of last year. All my certifications are in pending state. Have been forever. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. That's really hard. Unfortunately, there's a lot of similar claims to yours. The B of A problem is a huge deal because I did several videos on the audit report, and that had more details in it than I knew before. And the problem here is that B of A and what's their name? The EDD are at odds with each other, and they both don't agree with how things should be moving forwards. And unfortunately, that means that claims are in limbo. B of A wants more stringent ID verification, and EDD is kind of trying to push people through. As we have seen, many claims have been fraudulent. So they're at odds with each other. Contact your assembly member. The link is in the video description. Get them to start working with you, and I really hope that they are helpful. In addition to that, for those of you that are seeing a fraudulent charge on your Bank of America and it is frozen, first thing, call into EDD and request paper checks right away so that no more payments get sent to that frozen card. In addition to that, with your B of A cards, make sure that you are not using them at anywhere that has a swiper, where someone can go in with a skimmer after you and read the information off of it. Just be very careful with those and always transfer your balance. This is to everyone else. I'm really sorry your balance is frozen, but to anyone else that's keeping a balance in your B of A card, don't do that. Transfer it right away. Transfer it right away. Set out auto transfers. Get that money out of there. Don't keep it there. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Okay, scrolling down. All right, let's see. Sadie's Vasquez. I certified last Sunday and was disqualified, but my account has a benefit year ending 4/10 and still has a remaining balance. What can I do? Okay, disqualified means that you need to call in. Disqualified means that something is wrong and you're going to have to clear it up with them for some reason. Disqualified could be a various amount of reasons. It could be that maybe they tried to get some information from you and you didn't send it in on time, such as an ID verification or income verification, something along those lines. It can also be that they need to gather more information on your claim, or they attempted to do a phone interview with you and weren't able to connect with you. So call in right away and try to figure that out. That's not something that's going to fix itself. Okay, let's see. Melvin, Dennis Joslin. Hi, Ginny. I'm pending 2 days now and am at the end of year. What do you think is going on? If you're at the end of your benefit year in your traditional unemployment claim, you need to reapply. I have a video on this on my channel homepage, and I've gone over it in a lot of different videos as well. If you're a traditional unemployment claim, after you reach your benefit year, so look in UI Online, see your claim start date, 12 months after that, you have to reapply. So call into customer service and reapply over the phone. File a new claim with them. If you don't qualify for a new claim, then they'll apply the extension to your old claim, but you have to still go through the process of filing a new claim. Now, they get stuck in pending because they populate certifications, which they shouldn't do, but they do it anyway. And that's why. So call in and fix that. All right, Jay Robson, even though I have received an extension, I will still need to reapply at the end of my year, correct? Yes, that is correct. You will still need to reapply at the end of your year. The only exception for that seems to be Fed Ed. And I say seems to be because I don't have clear language on this from the EDD or the Department of Labor, but Fed Ed seems to collect the entire duration of the Fed Ed claim. So if you still have weeks left and you're on Fed Ed, I would expect those to still pay out. But if they get stuck in pending, then call in and reapply. All right. Where am I? I don't know where I am. There I am. Truth Seeker says I'm married. I am married. Let's see. Cantor Mark. If PUA has been extended by the new bill and you're self-employed, does CA PEUC get automatically extended. Hold on, let me see if I can decipher what that means. Okay, so if your PUA has been extended by the new bill, you're self-employed, do you get automatically extended? Yes, you should be automatically extended. So for this, I'm assuming you mean the upcoming stimulus bill, which is being voted on tomorrow in the House. We don't expect any delays in the House because the Senate was a hard one to pass, not the House. But if that passes and it's signed into law, PUA is a provision of the CARES Act. It was created by stimulus bills. The end date is merely being amended in the bill language. And I just got the new revision of the bill today from, what committee is it? The Rules Committee just released the revision of the bill, and they're just amending the end date of PUA. So PUA won't need to reapply. As a formality, I say that I need to wait and hear the guidance from the Department of Labor to be certain, but PUA should not need to reapply. Okay, Amber Smith. I work seasonal, doing cherries 1 month a year in May to June. Should I go back to work for that month, or should I just stay collecting unemployment until September? Go back to work. If you have work and you are able to do it in a safe way, and it's not any sort of a health issue for you surrounding the pandemic, then work. And what you're going to do is you're going to certify for the income that you receive. So because I'm assuming, let's see, I don't think you're self-employed, but if you're self-employed, you'll claim the income when you receive it. And if you're working as an employee, you'll claim the week that you work. So you'll certify for that income, continue to certify, and then when you're done doing that work, then you just certify regularly and you don't claim any income. That way your claim stays open. You don't have to worry about reopening it, and you'll be able to collect once you're done. All right. L. Moffitt, legal word processing. Untaxed UI per the new stimulus bill. Since it's for last year and many people have already filed taxes, is there any word on whether it will be automatically refunded or if amended return will have to be filed? Okay, so I checked the bill because the unemployment amendment that was recently added in the Senate, the text wasn't available until about today. It could have been available yesterday later on, but I saw it today. There's no details in there regarding how that is to be carried out. There's no guidance in there. It's just very straight to the point. $10,200 for individuals with an AGI below $150,000. And that $10,200 will not be taxed and will not be included for them. So there's no guidance as to how it's going to be carried out included in the stimulus bill, which means that we need to wait for guidance from the IRS. Now, the IRS could potentially utilize one of their algorithms to pick up a trigger on any time a claim has a 1099-G, and they could potentially do it that way and send you an automatic notice and refund, but it's tax season and it would be kind of unlikely for them to change their system mid-tax season. So at this point in time, I'm not sure. You could need to file an amendment or it could potentially be a change in their system. So we need to wait and hear from the IRS on that. Once I have more information, I will share it because I know everyone wants to know that. Thirsty. All right, where am I at? Steve Smith, after not getting paid since late December, finally emailed my senator and it worked. Took 10 days, but it works. Okay, good. I'm very glad that you got paid. Since December, that's not fun. All right, Gabriel, thank you. Exquisite Williams, you're really being on point. Thank you. Salvador Lopez, UI expires on 3/15. Still balance on Fed Ed. What if I do not qualify for a new, I can't read, you guys, I can't read today. A new UI, will they keep me on Fed Ed? They will not keep you on Fed Ed because Fed Ed is a weird, different program that is partially state funded, partially federally funded, and it has a different set of requirements than traditional UI claims and the extension. So it's kind of a weird program. What they will do if you do not qualify for a new claim is they will keep you on that old claim, but you won't continue with Fed Ed. Instead, you will continue with the new PEUC extension. So if your claim expires 3/15 and you are, so if your claim expires 3/15 and you don't qualify, then they will apply, if there is a new extension, they will apply that to your current claim. All right, scrolling down. Michael H., does anyone have any good news on fixing a disqualification appeal? Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're having a hard time with that. I don't have any good news on that. I don't have a lot of information on appeals. But I think if I remember properly, you are already in contact with your assembly member and you are working with them. So I really hope that they're helpful for you. All right, Rebecca Goldman, Cantor Mark says, she says, yes, I'm having trouble logging into my EDD portal too. Okay, Christine Knight, have you heard of a pending status after EDD has verified your ID and was told by customer service rep that my ID now needs to be verified by the federal government? It's been 10 weeks pending. I'm very sorry to hear that. No details on how to fix it specifically. Unfortunately, the ID verification is really hit or miss. If you have anything such as if you did ID.me and you have a hold on your credit, if your phone is through a different, like for example, if you have a family plan that's not registered to your specific name, it's really tricky. And if you have those holdups on there, unfortunately, they do need to verify it further. I don't have a time frame for you, and I know you've been waiting a long time, so I would contact your assembly member's office. Check the link in the video description on how to locate them. Contact your assembly member and start trying to get their help as well on your claim. All right, Michelle Harris, I'm having problems trying to log in. I'm not sure what's going on with logging in right now. I feel like the system is always fritzy, and anytime I try to log in, I always have to do it at least 3 times. But there's also been a lot of updates recently, so it could be even worse than normal. Paul Smith, I have 3 weeks in pending. I called EDD Monday and reapplied. My claim ended 2/19. How long until I start to receive money, and how long until I call back? Okay, so if you have 3 weeks pending, called EDD Monday and reapplied your claim ending 2/19. So if your claim ended 2/19, you're pending because your claim year ended. So those are going to stay pending until they process your new application. Now, new applications are taking 2 to 3 weeks to process. So if you called in on Monday, expect about 2 weeks. And then I would call in another 2 weeks if you don't hear back. All right. Chad Wellsberg, I'm having trouble logging in too. Page not found. Page not found. Okay, people left me comments about that earlier. I would try it again in a couple hours. Try not to worry about it. Try it in a few hours. Okay, scrolling down. Tony Perez. No, Ginny, I was on phase 2. I did not get any info. My address was wrong. I changed it. Okay. Not quite sure what to do with that. Scrolling down. Elizabeth, I'm having a hard time logging. You guys are all having a hard time logging in. Okay, well, at least you are not alone. If you can't log in, at least you are not alone, because everyone else seems to not be able to log in too. So give it a couple hours and then everybody else try again. Okay, let's see. Scrolling down. Whoa. What? Curly J. Hi, Ginny. If you certify by phone, you can get paid within 2 hours. Also tell EDD you're having a hardship and they will put you on the front of the line. Okay, thanks for sharing. Carrie Cook, the system is overloading. Meeting tons are on it. Okay, chess expert Cheney. Hi, Ginny. Getting close for everyone. No more balance. Okay, so if you're out of claim balance, you're either going to be waiting for an extension to be applied, or if you're at the end of your benefit year, then you are going to have to call in and reapply. And then if you do not qualify for a new claim, then you will be granted the new extension on your current claim. We are currently waiting to see if the we're waiting on the House vote tomorrow for the new stimulus package. Once we have more information on that, then I can speak in specific terms and not by saying if a new extension is passed. But if a new extension is passed, then that will be applied to your claim and you'll be extended up through September 6th with the additional weeks of claim balance added. All right. Michael H., lots of thanks for all your help with this mess. Such confusion. You're very welcome. It is a huge mess. Positive World. My benefit year expires in May 2021. Do I need to open a new claim? What should I do next? So if your traditional unemployment, meaning you were an employee before, your benefit year ends, you have to reapply. Call in to customer service. They will do it for you over the phone. Best to call in because if you do it over the phone and you do not qualify for a new claim, then they can apply the new extension to your claim over the phone. So do it that way. All right, scrolling down. Oh man, lost some comments. What is this? Oh, Trini, I missed your super sticker. I'm sorry I missed that. Trini, thank you very much for your donation. Me and my boyfriend watch all your videos. Please keep these up. Love your hair. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I missed that when you popped it up on screen. All right, Edith, Jelly, and Jed. If I skip one biweekly certification because I got paid for an independent contractor gig that is bigger than my biweekly PUA benefit, can I certify during the following period if I didn't earn it again? So yes, you can, but don't skip certifying for that income because you're going to have to still certify for that week. If you go back to certify again, that week is still going to be sitting there. So what you need to do instead is you need to fill in that you received the payment on that week. So go certify, claim the income, and then yes, the following week you will continue to certify and you will continue to get paid. All right, let's see. Oscar, my claim expires on March 22nd. I am in extension. Do I have to apply to PUA? If your claim expires March 22nd, you're on extension, that sounds like you're a traditional employee, that you had W-2 earnings and you're on a UI claim. You would not then go on to PUA. What would happen is that once you expire, you are going to apply for a new claim. And then if you were denied a new claim because you have been on unemployment the last year, then they will apply a PEUC extension to your old claim. Now, let's see, you expire March 22nd. Our current stimulus bill is expiring for new claims. So a new extension can't be applied after March 14th unless this current bill, which is in the House right now, passes through. So once we know that this has been passed through and signed into law, then that extension would be applied to your claim if it passes. And that would extend you up through September 6th. Okay, I need water. I just spilled it all over my dress. I'm just gonna rub it in. It's just what happens. All right, scrolling down. Let's see. I already did that one. Somehow my chat is not loading properly and I might have skipped a lot. Sorry. All right. Cantor Mark, I'm meeting with my CPA Thursday. Should I tell him to hold off on filing until we know whether the PUA is taxable or not? Most likely your CPA will probably ask you, do you want me to hold your return and not submit it? I can't give you tax advice. There's a liability problem with that. So I'm not giving you tax advice or financial advice. But if you do file it right now and you just miss any potential tax relief that could be signed into law this week, then you may have to file an amendment later. So there is potential that the IRS could use one of their algorithms to automatically calculate this, but that's kind of unlikely. So if it were me, I would wait a few days, but I'm not giving you financial advice. All right. Rissa says she hopes that Chardonnay in my mug. It is not. If it was anything, it would be beer, but it is not. It is water. And you just saw me spill it all over myself. So there's proof. All right. Well, maybe that's why you thought. Maybe you think that I'm drinking Chardonnay and that's why I'm spilling. Could be. Who knows? All right. Bambi, I wasn't paid since November. Then finally 2 weeks ago was able to certify. No back pay though. Okay, so I'm glad you're able to certify, but if you're not seeing the back pay that you were owed, call into customer service. You need to get that cleared up. It could have been an issue when they transferred you over to the extension. All right, who is Harrow? Hi, Ginny. With a seller's permit, will a seller's permit be acceptable if I get chosen for the Cal Relief Grant and have to show papers? My DBA is coming in the mail still. Okay, so it sounds like, I remember your comment before, and you didn't have documentation, and they were asking for it after you accepted for a grant. Now, I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm looking at the most recent comments on my phone here. If you filed for a seller's permit after applying for the grant, they're going to see the date on that paperwork, and that's not going to show that you were in business during their period of time that they're issuing the grants. So I can't say if they will accept that or not based on the date. If you have always had a seller's permit, then they may accept it. But they may also want to see a business license. Now, they state for the California Relief Grant, they state that they want to see a business license or Secretary of State papers, etc. But I have also had a subscriber, I think I've only had one tell me this, that they received the California Relief Grant for self-employed. They received that without having any paperwork and being a driver. So that goes against what they have published. Try it. Try submitting the documentation you have. Hopefully you qualify. We'll see. All right. Someone somewhere. I won an appeal February 8th hearing, and now my certifications say appeal instead of disqualified. When will they pay me? Okay, appeals. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of info on appeals. There's not a lot of information published, especially in terms of timeframes. So everything with the EDD, however, seems to take either 2 to 3 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks. I really hope that it is within that 2 weeks range. So I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't have that answer. All right, Lisette, my PPP was pending for a whole month and then got paid, and now I'm pending again for 3 weeks. Lisette, you're saying PPP, but I think you don't mean that. PPP is the Payroll Protection Program, which is a forgivable loan for a small business or self-employed. It would not be pending. So I'm guessing that you're referring to PUA. PUA was pending. And then pending again, you need to call into customer service. A lot of claimants are getting stuck in pending because they need to have more information provided to the EDD. Something in your claim might have triggered a stop payment alert, which means that the EDD needs to talk to you over the phone in order to confirm either your reason for not working. If you stated that you were not able to look for full-time work or not able to accept full-time work, then they might have a stop payment alert on you. Call into customer service and see if you're able to speak with someone and get it cleared up. All right, scrolling down. Oh man, it froze. Hold on. Mess this up. All right. All right, I'm at the 4:45 timestamp. Sadie's Vasquez, my dashboard says I have received all benefits payable to me, but I still have a balance and benefit year end of 410. Okay, so if you received all benefits payable to you, you're a $0 balance. That means you used up your claim balance. It sounds like I'm not sure when you started your claim, so I can't say if you used up all of your original claim balance or if you have had the extension applied and you used up that claim balance. But we're 3/9. We're almost at the end of those 11 weeks anyway. So if you did not yet receive the 11-week extension funded to your claim, next you would be waiting on having that applied. Now, if you are PUA with an end date of 4/10, you should have already had that applied. If you did not receive the 11-week extension, call into customer service. If you did receive the 11-week extension, you are now waiting on the passing of the stimulus bill in the House. They're going to vote on it tomorrow. And then if it is signed into law, then we would have an additional extension up through the end of September 6th. So you would be waiting for that time period for it to be applied to your claim, which is going to take some time to get it up and running. All right, Brent Santos, hello, my benefit year has been exhausted just today. Benefits have been exhausted just today. My benefit year's up May 22nd, and I'm on regular UI due to the pandemic. What should I do? So if your benefits have been exhausted and your year is still current up to May 22nd, it depends on, it's kind of the same thing that I just went over, only you're a different type of claim. So if you used up your 11-week extension and you had that applied to your claim, you probably should have had one more week in there. So it sounds like you didn't have the 11-week extension applied yet. In that case, you reach a $0 balance, and then about a week later, you'll receive a notification in UI Online letting you know that you've been awarded the up to 11-week PEUC extension. Now, keep in mind that 11-week extension, which was granted in December's stimulus bill, is going to expire. If you have it, their dates are tricky. If you have that applied to your claim before the May 14th cutoff date for it, then you can use that claim balance up until claim week ending April 10th. So you can use that remaining balance up until April 10th. After that point in time, if a new stimulus bill is in fact passed in the House tomorrow and then signed into law, then you would be extended under the new stimulus bill up through September 6th. If there's a gap between applying all of those extensions for you, you might get kicked into Fed Ed. Traditional unemployment claims may qualify for a Fed Ed extension, which is up to 20 weeks, and it's partially state funded, partially federally funded. Now, the Fed Ed extension is dependent on the unemployment rate of the state. California's unemployment rate is right around 9%, I believe, right now, and it has to be 6% or above in order for Fed Ed to be activated. So if for some reason you don't have an extension applied because the stimulus from December expires and the new one hasn't kicked in yet, then you would go into Fed Ed if you qualify. Go to my channel homepage and watch the video on if you qualify because it's a little complicated. And so was that answer. It was a very long and boring answer. And very confusing. All right, scrolling down. Let's see. Cantor Mark says, thank God you didn't give me awesome financial advice. I gave you no advice. All right, Steve. Yeah, if you look at my video description, it says that all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only. Let's see. Steve Bierman, what the minimum self-employment income you need to qualify for PUA? There's not a minimum. There's not a minimum, but if you state that you had self-employment income in your application, you must substantiate that with proof. So there's not a minimum to qualify. But if you did state something, make sure you can back it up with your proof. No minimum. Let's see. Dana Lynn says, hi, Ginny. I am so depressed. My work permit expired since January 7th, and I haven't received payments from EDD. It's understandable, but once I get my permit back, do you think EDD will send me my money? So I don't have information surrounding work permits. Unfortunately, I don't. So let's see. If you are not able to work, though, then you would not qualify for benefits during that period of time. So if it expired and you couldn't renew, now I'm guessing here, if it expired and you couldn't renew it, you wouldn't be able and available to accept work. That is a qualifying factor for qualifying for unemployment benefits. So my guess is that for those weeks where you were not able to accept work, you would not be qualified to receive unemployment payments. So I think there would be a gap for that. All right. Let's see. Maniaco Hernandez. I just got past 12 months and went to 0 on the end of January. Then I verified on ID.me. What do I do next? Okay, so if you got past 12 months, went to 0, verified on ID.me. If you're after 12 months of your benefit year and you're on a UI claim, you have to file a new application. So you would call into customer service if you are, in fact, at the end of your benefit year on a UI claim, tell them you need to file a new claim, and then they will help you through that process. All right, scrolling down. It's almost 5, so I'm going to do about 5 more minutes of questions. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. All right. Let's see, adventure unknown. I am an immigrant on a work visa. Will my unemployment go through since I lost my orange picking job from the pandemic? So it depends on if you, let's see, if you lost your work due to the pandemic. So work visas, isn't really my area of expertise, unfortunately, and I don't want to give you misinformation. So I feel like this would be a question that you will want to take to customer service. But yes, I would think that you would qualify because you lost your employment due to the pandemic. So they're going to want to verify that through your employer. So complete the application, and I think you would qualify because you lost your work due to the pandemic. Let's see, Fatima, Ginny, please help. My 11-week extension will be at $0 balance at the end of March. I'm a regular UI. What happens next to my claim? Okay, so let's see, your 11-week extension is $0 balance. So if you're a regular UI claim, $0 balance, end of March, you are going to wait and see what the House passes or doesn't pass, but it's probably going to pass. If they pass the stimulus bill and it's signed into law tomorrow, then you would have an extension of your benefits up through September 6th on a PEUC extension. Now, if that takes time to kick in and the program isn't up and running for a while, you might get put onto a Fed Ed extension first. Fed Ed, if you qualify, which you can see if you qualify, search for Fed Ed on my channel home. If you qualify for Fed Ed, it's a up to 20-week extension as long as the California unemployment rate is above roughly 6%, which it is. It's at around 9%, I believe. So you might qualify for that before the other one is passed and actually working. All right. Let's see, Howard. I applied for the EIDL loan and was given $1,000. I tried to apply again to get the additional $9,000 and was called and told me I could only apply for one loan. Can I do anything to get more money? Howard, are you talking about the loan or are you talking about the advance grant? Because if you're talking about a loan, which you said loan several times, the loan is different from the advance grant. The advance grant is targeted this time with very different qualifying factors. I have several videos on it, and the SBA sends you an email to let you know that you can submit an application for the remaining amount of the EIDL advance grant. So if you only received $1,000 and it was the advance grant and not the loan, then yes, you can reapply for that $9,000 if you meet the new qualifying factors. And the SBA should have sent you an email about that. Now, if you received a loan and not the advance grant, the loan is different from the advance grant. So you would not be able to receive two loans. All right, I'm taking two more questions. Oh, breaking my computer. Let's see. Rose says, can never get through to customer service. They never pick up the phones. Okay, so this is a big problem for a lot of people. I have a video, which is in the video description, and I think Kat has probably shared it several times in the chat, on tricks of how to get through. They're still working for most people. However, sometimes when you call in with those tricks, the phone lines might be so busy that you have to try it several times to still get them to work. So try those if you haven't done that yet. And most people report that they are successful. All right, scrolling down. Okay, Freddie Krugy. I received the first two stimulus checks, although through another account that is now closed. I recently filed my taxes and used this bank. Will the next stimulus check come to this account or the closed one? Okay, so if you recently filed your taxes and it was accepted by the IRS in time for them, by the time that they approve, if they approve it, if they do in fact approve it tomorrow and sign it into law, if the IRS has processed that new return, then they'll send it to that new bank. If they haven't processed that return and you've just sent in your taxes, but the IRS hasn't processed it, then it would not go to that new bank. So it kind of depends on your timing there, but I hope it works out with you with timing. All right, you guys, I'm going to take one last question here. Carla, Hi, what date do we need to be putting for backdating on PUA? I just tried to backdate and it said, oh, I lost it. Hold on. I just tried to backdate and it said it was out of parameters. So if you applied December 27th and onwards, then you may backdate as early as December 6th. The bill text says December 1st, but that is some sort of a weird weekday. What is it? December 1st is a Tuesday. So you can't apply for a partial week. So your backdating is going to be at December 6th. Now, if you applied before December 27th, so December 26th and earlier, you can backdate as early as February 2nd. However, sometimes it will also reject it based on when your claim actually started and if you're trying to backdate it way too far ahead and you don't have enough number of weeks to cover that. So there's a couple different reasons why it could be rejected, but in general, those are the two dates that you can apply for. Okay, you guys, I think I'm done. I gotta go. I have videos to edit. I got kids to feed downstairs. Got water to spill on me even more. Okay, you guys. So yeah, what else do I need to tell you guys about? You guys are all saying thank you. You're very welcome. Yeah, be on the lookout for my weird new app for my YouTube channel. I'm gonna be sharing it soon, but I have a couple kinks to still work out. All right, you guys, I will see you next time.